Hello friends, today we are going to continue chapter number 3, Cultural Heritage of India, Sculpture and Architecture work, lecture number 2. Friends, in the previous chapter, we discussed about the meaning in the second chapter and the first chapter. We discussed about the meaning of culture and heritage. We discussed about the importance of this culture and heritage. We discussed that how this culture heritage of India has bestowed us into an invaluable position in the world. Friends, our heritage is the invaluable gift from our ancestors. Here, when we are talking about the cultural heritage, in this chapter we are discussing about the sculpture work and the architecture work. Friends, in the previous lecture, we discussed about the meaning of sculpture and architecture work. We also discussed about the town planning of ancient India. Friends, we discussed about the meaning of sculpture, in which we learned that here the sculpture in which the filling is carved by a sculptor on a piece of wood, metal or stone with the help of hammer and chisel. That is known as sculpture work. We also discussed about the meaning of architecture work. Architecture here means both the process and the planning, we can say. It is both the process and the result of planning, designing and constructing the building and non-building materials. So friends, we discussed about the ancient town planning as well. That in ancient India, the town were planned and designed in such a manner that the towns were divided into 3 sections. The top section was for the citadel for the rulers, the upper part was for the administrative officers, residence for the administrative officers, and the lower part of the town was for the common people. The upper part of the town was elevated and safe with double stored buildings as well as 2 to 3 rooms. While for the common people, the lower part was mainly made with handmade bricks and single stone. We discussed all about the roads as well. The roads of ancient town were straight and intersecting each other at right angle only. The roads were such a wide that number of vehicles can pass at a time. Here it is said that the architects of Indus Valley civilizations have made extraordinary contribution in their architecture work comparing to other civilizations of the world. So friends, we have discussed about the town planning of ancient India. Today we are going to discuss about Mohenjo-daro and its town planning. So friends, today's topic, Mohenjo-daro and its town planning. Let us discuss about Mohenjo-daro first. Friends, starting by understanding about Mohenjo-daro. If we talk about Mohenjo-daro, it means it is the mound of the dead man. Or we can say, here you can use the word heap as well. The heap or the mound of the dead man. Heap means keeping together a mass of the dead man. Mohenjo-daro means the heap of the dead man. In 1922, in the year 1922, archaeologists name in the year 1922. Archaeologist name Rakaldas Banerjee. In 1922, archaeologist name Rakaldas Banerjee. And Dayaram Saini and Dataram Saini discovered remains. They discovered the remains of huge town planning. They discovered the remains of huge town planning during excavation work. During excavation work, they carried out this work under the guidance of Sir John Michael, under the guidance of Sir John Marshall, and Colonel Mackay, and also Colonel Mackay. In Larkhan district, Sindh, that is now in Pakistan. That is in Larkhan district, Sindh, that is now in Pakistan, of Mohenjo-daro. Friends, here is the understanding of Mohenjo-daro. Here it is said Mohenjo-daro means the mound of the dead man, that is the heap, dug जिसे कहते हैं. बहुत सारे लोग एक जगह मरे हुए, the heap of the dead man. In 1922, when the archaeologist named Rakaldas Banerjee and Dataram Sani, they discovered these remains of huge town. In 1922, they discovered during the excavation work this huge town when they were doing the excavation work under the guidance of Sir John Marshall and Colonel Mackay. This town was discovered in Larkhan district, that was in Sindh, which is now in Pakistan, of Mohenjo-daro. Now friends, let us understand about the town planning of this Mohenjo-daro, how this ancient town was planned of this Mohenjo-daro. Friends, let us understand now the town planning of Mohenjo-daro. Friends, very important question in concept of your examination. Mohenjo-daro, something or the other will be asked your objective or the question answers from this town planning of Mohenjo-daro. Let us start from the construction of town. Construction of town of Mohenjo-daro. Here it is. Starting with A, there are different sections. First, starting with the construction of town, it is said the whole town was fortified. The whole town was fortified. द होल टाउन वॉज फोर्टिफाइड, पूरे टाउन के आजू बाजू बड़ी दीवार बनाई रखी होती है, उसको कवर किया रहता है, बीच में टाउन रहता है और पूरी टाउन के बाहर जैसे हम फेंसिस लगाते हैं घर के आजू बाजू, उसी तरह पूरे टाउन के आजू बाजू फोर्टिफाइड दीवार, ऊंची दीवार बनाई होती, तो दैट इज द होल टाउन वॉज फोर्टिफाइड. देन houses were built on high plinth. Houses were built on high plinth to protect them from floods and dampness. The houses were built on a high plinth. जो भी घर बनाते थे वो थोड़ी ऊंचाई पे बनाते थे, रोड के लेवल पे नहीं बनाते थे, जो भी घर थे वो थोड़े ऊंचाई पे थे, जिसकी वजह से अगर कभी भी पानी पड़ता था तो वो घर के अंदर नहीं घुसता था पानी. जैसे अभी हम कई बार सुनते हैं कि कोई इलाके में ज्यादा बारिश हुई तो घर के अंदर पानी घुस जाता है, क्योंकि जो डोर होता है, घर का दरवाजा होता है, वो हाउस रोड के लेवल पे होता है, इसके लिए ज्यादा बारिश होने की वजह से जब फ्लड होता है तो पानी घर में घुस जाता है. एंशिएंट टाउन प्लानिंग, मोहनजोदारो टाउन प्लानिंग में जो घर रहते थे वो थोड़ी ऊंचाई पे रहते थे. आप 2-3 स्टेयर्स चलो, फिर उसके बाद आप घर के मेन डोर में एंटर हो सकते थे. सो वो किस वजह से, ताकि फ्लड के समय पे या ज्यादा बारिश होने के समय में घर के अंदर पानी की कोई प्रॉब्लम न हो, पानी नहीं पड़ सकता. सो इट वॉज ड्यू टू दैट रीजन दैट द हाउसेज ऑफ द रिच पीपल were double storied. The houses of the rich people were double storied, having 5 to 7 rooms, while those of poor people were single story, having 2 to 3 rooms. Friends, here it is said the town of Mohenjo-daro, in that houses were made in such a way that the houses of the rich people were double stored, दो इमारत के होते थे, were double stored and were having 5 to 7 rooms. The rich people were having 5 to 7, while on the other side the poor people had single stored and they were having 2 to 3 rooms. The main door, if we talk about this planning, here it is said the main entrance of the house opened on the side lanes and not on the main lanes. Here it is said even the main entrance was on the side, not at the main lanes, so that directly cannot anyone enter. Here it is said the main entrance of the house that opened on the side lanes, not on the main lanes. Then remains of the storehouses, kitchens, and bathrooms were found in every houses. Friends, here it said even in this town during excavation work, the remains of storehouses were found in the house. Storerooms were there, storehouses, kitchens were there, as well as bathrooms were made in also in every house. So friends, here you can see that how alert and they were about their health and hygiene. Even bathrooms were found at that time in each and every house. The facility of bathroom was also there. There were proper arrangement of doors. There were also proper arrangement of doors and windows. Doors and windows to keep the house, door and windows to keep the houses airy and ventilated. To pass the air also, here the doors and windows were made in such a manner that the air can pass from the house. So the doors and the windows were made in such a manner that the air circulation can also be maintained. So friends, here you can see about the construction of the house, or the construction of the town. The whole town was fortified. Houses were built on a high peak. It were made on a high peak, on a height, so that it can be helpful at the time of flood. Water cannot go inside. The house of the rich people were double stored and having 5 to 7 rooms. Poor people had single stored with 2 to 3 rooms. The main entrance opened on the side lane instead of the main lane. Even here it is said that remains of these storehouse, kitchens and bathrooms were found in each and every house. And there were proper arrangement of doors and windows which make the house airy and ventilated. So this was the information about the houses of Mohenjo-daro, or we can say the construction of town. Now let us understand about the roads of Mohenjo-daro. Now friends, let us understand the second part of the town planning, that is the roads of Mohenjo-daro. If we talk about the roads of Mohenjo-daro, roads are the main feature of this town planning. Roads are the main feature of this town planning. Roads, if we talk about the roads in the towns where straight, as we discussed earlier, roads in the towns were straight and long as well. Straight and long. Roads in the towns were straight and long. They were built from, if we talk about the roads, they were built from north to south and east to west. They were built from north to south and east to west, intersecting each other at right angle. Friends, here it is said the roads were made in such a manner. Only two types of road were there. One road was going from north and south direction, that is north to south and south to north, and the other road was east to west and west to east. And these two roads intersect, they always intersect each other at right angle only. So both road north to south and east to west. The roads were wide enough for a number of vehicles to pass at a time. The roads were wide enough for a number of vehicles to pass at a time. The roads were 9.75 meter wide. If we talk about the width of the roads were 9.75 meters wide. Here it is also said that pits on the roads suggest there were pits on the sides of the road. These pits suggest that there might have been lamp posts. There might have been lamp posts. Friends, as we know, in the road right now we see street lights. In the past, there was not the facility of electricity. So instead of street lights, lamp posts were there, जिसे हम फानस कहते हैं. लैंप पोस्ट एंड इट इज बिलीव द पिट्स मींस द खड्डे. रोड के साइड पे जब एक्सप्रेशन वर्क में ये टाउन मिला, उसमें रोड के साइड पे कई जगह पे खड्डे दिखे. ये अनुमान लगाया गया कि ये जो खड्डे हैं वो किस चीज के लिए थे. तो रोड के साइड पे जो खड्डे थे थोड़े अंतर पे दिखे, वो उस समय ये लैंप पोस्ट के लिए थे. शायद उस समय फानस लगाया जाता था. So these peaks were on the road. They were assumed to be the lamp post. The corners were, if we talk about the corners, they were rounded off to make it easy. The corners were rounded off to make it easy for the movement of heavy cars. For the movement of heavy cars, even the roads were rounded up so that the heavy cars can move along nicely. So friends, here it was the information about the roads of Mohenjo-daro. So friends, today we discussed about the two parts, that is the construction of town, that is the houses of Mohenjo-daro and the roads of Mohenjo-daro. In our next lecture, we will continue about the town planning of Mohenjo-daro and we learn about the construction of drainage system of Mohenjo-daro, public path of Mohenjo-daro and the public building of Mohenjo-daro. So friends, here we have already discussed about the houses and the roads of Mohenjo-daro. Hope so you might have understood about the town planning of Mohenjo-daro, of roads and house. Thank you.